Either way is fine.
I can
I
mute it.
just pushed us
Okay.
live because, oh my gosh, we are actually fully fucking prepared for tonight. Other than, oh, let's record this session. Do, do, do. Phenomena. What? You're like making hand gestures, and I have no idea what you're saying. Oh,
I was gesturing to my cat to come be in my lap. Sorry. I was muting myself so no one had to hear my obnoxious baby talk to my little potato. Oh, there it is. So
That's why I was confused. I was like, "You're talking, but you're muted, so I don't know what you're saying to me." Genesis and Vermont. I'm gonna ask Let's to if she'll redo our thingy. Switch our names around. Okay. Clips are ready. We've got 10 of them tonight. Hello, hello, Bat Knight and Apollo. It's gonna get by. I brought wine.
oh, yeah, I have I actually could probably drink wine again because I found out this week that my kidney stone is special. It is a infection stone. It has not it's more like jello. And it came because I had this is probably TMI, but I do not care. I had 6 UTIs randomly last year, which was crazy. It came from the stone though. But like apparently a UTI can trigger this kind of thing forming randomly. They're very rare. I just got lucky. So instead of it being like a hard stone, they have to like vacuum it out of my kidney rather than like break it up. So
Oh,
I still need a
honey.
surgery. But it makes me feel better because I mean, like even though it sucks and it's like some of the most it literally is the most painful thing I've ever experienced in my life when it's happening. But it's not my fault. My mom was like, "You eat too much salt and you should drink more water." You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
was like feeling real bad about it. And so it was nice to hear like, no, this is a crazy random happenstance. You just had the misfortune to suffer. Like, yes, not my fault. Get bent, mom. I do love my mom, but man, every single time there's some health thing. Oh well, you know, if you hadn't done this, that wouldn't have happened. I don't know if everyone's mom is like that, but that's my mom.
Mm, not
She's a
so
nurse
much.
too, so I think that doesn't help.
Yeah.
Let me turn this down. Question is, how do I prop my phone up when I've got the charger in? Like my little unicorn too, isn't he cute?
Oh, that's adorable.
Kyle got it for me one year. For you have to spend the weekend out of town with your in-laws next week. That is the scariest sentence I've ever read. I'm sorry. Gosh, how do I put this?
I mean, we've already given you a pass, Apollo. If you're going to go see Taylor Swift, you get a free pass
Oh,
on.
but we moved to the patron chat in April, so it's not the last Friday. It's the second to last Friday because of my surgery. That way I'm not missing an actual character episode. So I won't be there for the patron chat next month. So Apollo, if Taylor Swift's concert is April 20th, then you'll miss it. But if it's not, then you can go if you want to.
Okay. Yeah. Or, okay. Yeah. No, I think that that'll work out better than
I wrote
Um,
that in our episode scheduler a while ago, but I forgot to actually tell you that
yeah,
I
no, I
changed it
saw
for it.
that.
I did post it in Patreon too, so let the patrons know.
Yes. There's that, and what else? There was one other thing. Oh, when we get there, or if you want to start looking at it now, I put notes in our mid break.
I looked at it a minute ago. Let me see. Oh yeah, I left a comment. I don't know if you saw it.
No.
In short, I agree.
Okay.
Mystery.
We're being mysterious. Oh, and to answer your original comment, it's going to have to be manual. We can't do that.
That's what I thought.
So,
I don't know a better way to do it though.
I don't either.
That would
Okay.
be fair. Now the April patron chat is the 20th. I'm sorry, 21st. 21st. The 20th is a Thursday. That's my surgery. That's why I can't do it because I have to stay in the hospital overnight. I'm not sure when they'll discharge me. So, and I thought, maybe doing a patron chat the day after a surgery might be too much for me. So, figured I can't go to that one. Yeah, I did mean the 21st. Sorry. Thanks, Apollo.
Okay. All right. Are we ready?
Ready, Eddie, Eddie.
Okay. All right. Are we recording? Oh, damn it. Audacity starting now.
I am recording. And it
Okay.
better be good. There was one paragraph I said last week that it looked like my actual computer mic picked it up, but everything else was picked up by this mic. I have no idea how that could happen.
Ugh.
It was so weird. It's just the curse of whatever of Safari, the curse of Safari.
I mean, it's the curse of
Using Chrome today, guys.
two girls, one technical difficulty. That's what it is.
Yeah.
We started a shit show and we'll continue being a shit show. We just have a little bit more polish to us now. Oh, okay. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Two Girls, One Ship, the podcast where we analyze, rate, and review all that the world of video game romances has to offer. I'm Genesis, the girl who is excited to talk about a romance that is not one of the world's favorites.
That's to put it lightly. And I'm Bravada, the girl who it's kind of like hot and cold for this episode. It's like a good one and then a not so.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. So if you're new here, welcome to the beautiful chaos. But you should know that our podcast centers on character and romance analysis and doesn't shy away from exploring the fun of fucking.
Or from the deep emotional connections built between two characters using specific in-game dialogue. So if you want to stay spoiler free, then this isn't the podcast for you.
So here's your fucking spoiler alert.
Thanks for the spoiler alert, N7. And just like with all of our previous episodes, we'll assume that you have some background knowledge of the game and character in question, but we will be providing context for those of you who may be unfamiliar.
Yes, in today's episode, we are once again covering two characters because they are not with you throughout your journey fighting back against the Reapers on the Normandy. Although they do their own part in the war efforts, some are more useful than others. First, we'll be talking about the romance with Miranda Lawson, including the scenes from the Citadel DLC in Mass Effect 3. We'll also be talking about the galaxy's most ridiculous breakup with Jacob Taylor in Mass Effect 3, also including his Citadel scenes. We're going to start with Miranda, ex-Cerberus Barbie with the most daddy issues.
Promise me you'll be careful.
I can't do that, Miranda.
I know. Bastard.
Miranda has made herself scarce since the end of Mass Effect 2, and for good reason. Cerberus is no longer a friend to the Alliance, and they increasingly are not friends to the Reapers either. Miranda is no longer associated with Cerberus. In fact, the elusive man wants her eliminated, so she has been on the run since we last saw her. After rescuing Primarch Victus, Miranda will send a message asking Shepard to meet her on the Citadel. Miranda isn't involved too much in this game, and her involvement is limited to her search for her sister. She believes that her father has found her and captured her, but we don't know that initially. In true Miranda fashion, she doesn't just come out and say what's up.
I got your message, Miranda. Is this about your sister?
Shepard, I need access to Alliance resources. I can't say any more. You'll just have to trust me.
I don't like secrets, Miranda. Just tell me what's going on.
I can't, Shepard. If that's a problem, I'll go.
Don't. Trust is a little hard to come by right now.
Of course.
You'll have your access, Miranda, but I don't like the sound of this.
I know, and thank you. It means a lot.
That's cute. Trust is certainly hard to come by. But at this point, I guess I'm surprised she still doesn't trust him. Like, that's one way to read this scene. But after a life like Miranda's, I'm not surprised she doesn't trust easily. Perhaps she does trust Shepard, but not anyone else who might be listening. Miranda's life is in danger for much of this game. And if you don't take the proper steps to ensure her survival, she will die. Shepard must warn her of a Cerberus attack, or, being unprepared from not being warned, she'll later be killed by them. Shepard must read the dossier that Anderson forwards on Kai Lang, and warn her about him when you video chat with her in the Spectre office on the Citadel. Any chance you have to tell her about some Cerberus scheme, do it, unless you want to see her die later. But we're romancing her in this episode, so we're going to warn her.
She will also die if you don't rekindle your romance with her, which is kind of fucked up. But in this first interaction with Miranda, there is also a very important moment for them as a couple. Without the Citadel DLC, this would be the romance culmination scene for the whole game. But thanks to Legendary Edition, we all have access to the DLC. And for our purpose in this podcast, we will be including those scenes to get the picture of her full romance.
I fought against my father and his need to run every aspect of my life. He wanted total control over me, right down to my bloody DNA. After I got out of there, I couldn't stand by and let it happen to my sister. I risked my life to get her away from all that. Yet I didn't give a second thought to destroying your free will when I had the power.
This is what's been bothering you?
I told you, it's crazy.
It's not crazy. Well, maybe a little crazy.
Shepard.
Miranda, I lost 2 years of my life. You gave me back the rest of it. You could have changed me in 1,000 different ways, but you didn't. I don't know how, but you brought me back.
Thanks. But with so much being uncertain, I just wanted you to know I always regretted wanting that chip.
Miranda, we're both under so much pressure to be perfect. We never give ourselves a break.
We can't give ourselves a break. There's too much at stake.
Hey,
Yes.
come here.
Oh? Still impatient, Commander?
Still trying to maintain control, Miss Lawson?
Trying, but failing.
Good. I'm almost out of moves.
I'm not.
I love the way that they play. Shep and Miranda's physical relationship may be one of my favorites. They flirt, they tease. I can tell that they trust each other where it counts. Of course, I don't like the fact that it fades to black right after Miranda leans in for a kiss. I'm just never going to be satisfied in this game. But overall, the verbal foreplay is on point. And I really like these two together. I also really like the blocking in this scene. Most of it. When they are open and talking about the chip, they are standing close together. When the romance affirmation choice is picked and the music changes, Shepard walks over to the bed. Then it's a whole lot of ass. I don't like that. But honestly, it's because it's not done well. The screen that I was paused on while writing this up, Mary's butt looks completely lopsided and lumpy and just way off. And just no thank you. Oh, I also don't need 2 close-ups of a thigh gap. Fuck off with that. Okay. But you guys, please go watch this scene. There's such a cute little moment when Shepard says, still trying to maintain control. He's sitting on the edge of the bed and he gets Boy Scout perfect posture. Hands clasped in front of his stomach, and his facial expression gets all, I'm innocent, ma'am, I swear. And it's just like so fucking adorable. I've never seen male Shep get cutesy like that.
Yeah. I had never seen this scene before I did the research for this episode, and I really like the way that they interact with each other in every way. Like, we're going to talk more about that, so I won't get into it right now, but I agree with everything you said. I quite like this scene because of Miranda confessing her regret for wanting to put a chip into Shepard. I think this conversation is a good example of the phenomenon of victims becoming the abuser. Of course, not all victims of abuse will later go on to abuse. That's something to keep in mind, of course. But there are some that do. There are enough that do, that there is a term for this, the cycle of abuse. Victims that become stuck in the victim mentality that never heal may end up feeling entitled to the pain they were afflicted with and then inflict it on others. With Miranda, this is a very small example of that, and also an example of how self-aware she is. Part of that self-awareness comes from her perfectionism she was forced to adopt from her father. But here it serves a healing purpose. She sees what she was trying to do and feels genuine regret that she ever considered it. I think even if Shepard knew about this, Miranda confessing it and clearing the air is a really healthy thing. They have very good communication and trust. Might not seem like it, but they really do.
I agree. And I think that plays into the part where you said earlier, like, you have to trust me. It was that she didn't want to say anything around ears that might be listening in. Not that she didn't trust Shepard. Yeah. I really like that. Yeah. It turns out that Miranda's sister Oriana was indeed captured by their father. Miranda tracks him down to a facility on Horizon and is pretty horrified to learn what is going on there. The Reapers are attacking the facility. Is it the Reapers or the Collectors? It's the Collectors that are attacking the facility.
I thought it was the Reapers.
Or is it
Well, the Collectors
both?
work for the Reapers, right? I thought
Yeah.
it was Reapers because he was researching how to indoctrinate people like the Reapers do, Henry Lawson was, and trying to use it against the Reapers, like to control them to fight against other Reapers. And they found out about it, so they started attacking the facility to because he was like making husks and stuff.
Hmm. Okay.
Pretty sure it was Reapers. It's been a while since I played this game. In 3, yeah.
Oh my god. I can't believe.
I thought you would know better than me because I think you've played this game more than me, honestly.
Uh,
Even though I played it first,
I mean,
like, years before you did.
I've
I've
played
only
it
played
like
it, like,
4 or 5 times
twice?
in the last year.
Yeah, in my life, I think I've played it all the way through twice, so but yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just did the
Well, so I
this is
will
what
say
said the
that it's
wiki,
probably
so
oh, I was like, it's probably Reaperized forces. It's not like an actual sovereign
no, it
ship
wasn't an
coming
actual
down.
Reaper. It was like, they've got all sorts of things that
Yeah.
they like banshees, and they're all Reapers,
Okay.
but they're not like a Reaper. What are they called? Destroyer, or like the big giant squid looking things.
Yeah.
They're not the Leviathan looking ones.
Okay. Here we go. The Reaperized forces are attacking the facility and takes down the jamming signal that was preventing off-world communication and leaves video logs of records of what she's found and confirming that her father was working for the elusive man. Kai Lang attacks her, and by the time Shepard arrives, is badly wounded.
Yes. The one time she's a damsel in distress. Her father is holding Ariana hostage at gunpoint because he is using her as a human shield. He's super awesome dad of the year, not a coward, right? Shepard can either diplomatically defuse the situation or just renegade shoot him. And honestly, when it comes to Kai Lang and Henry Lawson, pull that interrupt, honey. Just do it. Miranda will be forced to kill him if you refuse. And let's not traumatize our girlfriend any more than she already is when it comes to her dad. It's at this point that Miranda will die of her wounds if you didn't do all the things you were supposed to do. Oh, but she did manage to put a tracking device on Kai Lang, that son of a bitch. Can we talk about how amazing Miranda is? We did in her Mass Effect 2 episode. And like up until we did that episode, I really didn't like her. I completely changed my own mind doing the research for that episode. She is amazing. Look at everything she's able to do. She's literally a one-woman army.
Amazing. And oh, this is the one time where I am going to flip the script. I don't pull the trigger. I let Miranda biotic shove him through the glass. I find it much more satisfying for her to put the closure on it and to know that Henry cannot touch her and Oriana ever again. I don't know. Now, thanks to Miranda's tracking device, Shepard is also able to discover where the elusive man has been hiding. So that's the last time that you'll see her in the main game, which is sad. So we're going to fast forward to the Citadel DLC. You can see Miranda a few times in this DLC, one of which is after your great escape from the sushi restaurant. This scene at Anderson's apartment is hilarious and just great all-around writing. Ugh. And just great writing all around. And I can never resist adding a scene with an interrupt case, so I extended your clip, V.
Oh, they shut down my favorite sushi place.
That's a shame.
Shepard, you didn't.
I did. Fell right through the fish tank.
How did you manage that?
It exploded. Hey, it was the clone's plan, not mine.
Blowing up a fish tank shouldn't be part of anyone's plan. Although executing marine life seems to be some sort of hobby with you. No wonder your clone couldn't resist.
was the first step in taking over my whole life. We stopped it.
Good thing, but why did it want your life? Why would anyone? All that running, jumping, gunfire. It's crazy.
I try not to think about it.
Probably for the best.
Trust me, I know all this isn't normal.
Speaking of trust, with all this clone business, how do I know you're the real Shepard?
I don't know. You just do.
I'm afraid you'll need to convince me. A compelling argument.
Okay. I also know that things just got weird and probably did a clippy thingy sounding. But that should have fixed it. Do I still sound okay? Okay, we're good.
Yeah. It was only for a minute before the scene played when you were talking. For me, anyway. I don't know how it sounded. It usually sounds fine for stream, and not for me when that happens. It's weird.
Well, so yes, there are two different things because stream is always going to get clean, pure audio because I can have multiple tracks playing at one time. So stream is getting my microphone on one track, my audio clips on another track, and your audio on a third track, and they can all seamlessly work together perfectly. The part of the issue comes up with making my audio from my computer play directly to you. That's what causes all of the fuckery.
Of course. Well, as long as you have the stream and stuff. Like, I know you'll have a copy that's not choppy.
Oh yeah, no, because I can always go back in and I have all of the audio clips saved, obviously, so I can just edit that one in really quick.
Well, the clip sounded fine to me. It was just you talking like the last couple sentences of what you said before it played.
Oh,
otherwise sounded fine.
That might have actually been my voice cracking.
Oh.
But when I listen back to
Okay.
it, if it sounds like shit, I can re-record one line and throw it in. We're good.
Mm-mm. We're good. Okay. Anyway, back to this clip. I love the call out to all of us who forgot to feed our fish at least one playthrough in Mass Effect 2. This whole thing is so funny. There's such a fine balance between true vulnerability and intimacy and the verbal sparring, witty, sexy banter with these two. It speaks to a relationship that is built equally on trust and physical attraction, something that Miranda could only dream of, because honestly, how many times has she only been a pretty face to people in her life? Probably almost all of the time. Of course, Shepard sees that she's a beautiful woman. He's got eyes. She was literally designed to be perfect. But he sees all of her. He also sees the incredibly capable, smart, and kick-ass person underneath the veneer of perfect genetic code. He loves all of her. And while that is scary to her, she's willing to give it a go with him because she wants something real for herself, something not perfect.
So cute. Eventually, you have to do a little reconnaissance in a casino for the mission in the DLC. That whole DLC is just fun from beginning to end. So if you haven't played it yet, go do it. What are you waiting for? You can meet Miranda in the casino for a date as well if you've romanced her. And she is decked out in a very Asari-esque dress that highlights her perfect genetics. And Miri in that little red dress is just, oh, my. They both clean up well and share a very cute moment together while Miranda tries and fails to play a gambling game that looks similar to roulette. I also really like this scene as a femshep or not romanced. Just two epic level badasses trying to have a little fun.
I was thinking about our talk earlier, about having a normal life. Damn, I'm not very good at this. Truth is, Shepard, I'm not very good at being normal either. Bit of a disaster, really.
I get it.
We just need a little practice.
Any ideas?
Oh, I've got some ideas. Miranda, you're here, you're beautiful, and I have you to myself. So tonight, I'm just gonna be a regular guy taking his best girl out on the town.
No space heroes or super spies?
Nope. Just bright lights, a few games, and some very foolish choices. Agreed?
Agreed. I'm gonna need more wine.
Get this woman more wine.
You're pretty sexy when you're pushy. What now?
Let's spin the wheel, see what happens.
The odds are against us, you know.
Maybe. But I've got a good feeling about this.
I love that scene so much. It's
know.
so good.
It really is so good. When have we ever heard her giggle like that? Like
Right?
that cute little giggle.
The
She's
cute
just
little
totally
giggle.
relaxed with him.
And so, remember when we talked with Sam about like physical intimacy, like not being able to be portrayed in video games very well? This is one of those moments where it really did work because Shep is just standing behind her like a total boyfriend. He's holding her by the waist, arms are wrapped around her. It's so fucking good.
Yeah. The way they speak to each other too is like it reminds me of just anyone I know in like a very long-term relationship too, even though they've only known each other for like, well, I guess Miranda's known him for 5 years at this point, but you know, he's known her for 3, and yet, you know, the trauma bonding of everything they've been through made it their bond form really quickly, but still it's a genuine connection, and you can't fake that sort of relationship, and it doesn't feel fake or manufactured in this game either. It feels really good. But that last line in the clip where Miranda says the odds are against us, I love it because I love a little bit of what's she really talking about? Is she talking about the game, or is she talking about the Reapers? And Shepard could be talking about either of them too, and he says he's got a good feeling about this. So I just love that cute little moment. But this also made me think about something that is one of my misgivings about Miranda. So we talked about it a bit in her Mass Effect 2 episode, but Miranda is an exceptionally well-written character, to the point that when analyzing her, it's hard for me to remember why I didn't like her in the first place. But then I watched the scenes she's in, not just hearing her voice or reading a message from her. The cinematography of the game, like the actual placement of the camera and the shots made to form the dialogue scenes, are all crafted to view Miranda through the lens of objectification. The original game constantly had her bum in major focus while she was talking or someone else was talking, like completely random. It would take you out of the scene moments. There were so many gratuitous butt shots in Mass Effect that they actually took some away with the release of Legendary Edition. Like even the developers were like, let's update this for 2021. Her character is an embodiment of the conflict between viewing women as a source of consumption, especially women that are conventionally attractive, and allowing women, even beautiful ones, to exist without objectification. It's like they manufactured my outrage at her just by the way they made me look at her in the game, you know?
And it's
I'm sure men didn't feel that way. Sorry. I'm sure men did not feel that way watching her. But for me, I was like, I instantly got annoyed because I'm like, your ass is literally always in my face. I don't want to hear from you, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe my brain is just wired in different ways because I didn't notice the ass shot so much. I think, like, because when you are talking to her, I don't know. I focus on my player character more than I do what's going on around them. So if Miranda's ass is in the corner, but I'm standing off to the side behind, I'm generally looking at my character, not her ass. But that's just me.
It's fair. I have a 60-inch TV, and let me tell you, some of the times her butt was taking up more than half of my TV for a single shot. Like, why was it placed right here when she's talking about,
Oh,
like, her trauma with her father or something? Like, it just takes away from the scene, you know?
that is also really, really valid because I play on a 16-inch laptop. So that probably makes
Yeah,
a huge difference.
literally.
Literally. Uh, welcome, Aku's first time chatter. Okay. Back into it though. It is a fine line to walk because obviously we as humans are conditioned to notice features and attraction. But there is a there's a big difference between being attracted organically to Miranda and having that attraction be manicured through certain framing techniques to pander to the presumably majority hetero male audience. She never once weaponizes her beauty in the games, though. Although we as players often assume, and even the developers have said, she would do this. It's just a part of spy work, right? James Bond's seduction type. But narratively, she never does this. She only accomplishes things through her own talents and merits, making things like her ridiculously tight outfit and ass shots feel icky to those of us paying attention. She didn't choose to wear that outfit, did she? Really? Like stepping out of the game, the developers are the ones that put her in that, not her own choice. This kind of pandering explicitly robs her of the intimacy she earns in moments with Shepard, where she opens up about her fears and traumas. It doesn't feel real because what if she is just using her sexuality against Shepard, right? Can she not exist as a person just needing to be loved and accepted for who she is?
Hmm. And this doesn't just affect how she's perceived while you're playing the game either. More than a decade later, after this character first appeared, we still think of Miranda as a fan service character, nothing more beyond great tits and ass in a skin tight suit. She is so, so much more than that. I get a little annoyed personally when I see such different outfits between characters, especially male and female characters. Like, if there is a narrative point to a certain article of clothing, that's one thing. But when you take a step back and ask yourself, did Miranda need to wear that in space? Did Liara need to wear that? Or are they just wearing that because it's sexy? That's what bothers me. They could have connected how objectification has added to Miranda's suffering under the impossible standards of her father and society, how she was taught to view herself as a tool, but instead, all the cinematography does is objectify her to us. I'm not saying that no sexy outfits are allowed, ever, but that context matters. Take this previous scene we just listened to, for example. They're on a date. I expect her to look hot, but like at work, can she just wear the normal spacesuit? Like, can't they all just match? I don't, or not even match, just, I don't know. We got Garrus wearing like heroic armor, and then we have like Liara showing off her ever increasing boobs. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying you
Yeah.
have to have a turtleneck in space, but it definitely feels targeted.
And see, I struggle with this. I love people wearing what makes them feel best. Miranda seems very comfortable in her skin and maybe not that comfortable living in her mind or living in her emotions, but I want to believe that she would have picked these outfits. But I just don't know. I really don't. Maybe if they had switched her outfit in Mass Effect 3, like they did with Ashley, to give us a different option of what she could look like, then that might have changed my mind one way or another. But we'll never know. Moving on to the end of the line conversation with Miranda. It is a bit like Steve's from last episode, where she talks on a hologram. But at least Miranda alludes to your romance in this conversation. She's been helping the Alliance ever since you finished her mission on Horizon. And it's a good thing that she has thick skin, because there are quite a few people in the Alliance who probably don't know what to make of an ex-Cerberus Barbie helping them fight back against Cerberus and the Reapers. They should be thankful to have her help, honestly.
Shepard, good to see you. Hope you don't mind me crashing this little party of yours.
Not at all. Feeling better?
Much. Got a few sideways looks from Alliance brass when I offered to help. They can't be choosy at this point.
I'm glad you made it.
Shepard, I wanted to say goodbye.
What do you mean?
If we both come back from this at all, everything will be different.
Sure, everything will change. But on our terms. We've been running until now, Miranda. It has to stop.
I understand. I just wish I was there. With you.
Me too.
I don't know what to say.
Don't say goodbye.
Then finish this, Shepard. And find me.
I will. I promise.
And find me. Oh, so good. I understand why Miranda's not on the ground forces with them, although it would have been awesome to have her biotics on our squad for the end line. But, she's doing her part.
Yeah.
I love it.
I really like this scene. I hate that they couldn't say goodbye in person, but I do really like what they said to each other here. Miranda's never been mushy or even desperate like some of the other romances, but her love is just as real and strong. She's ready, she's fighting, and she hopes beyond hope that their fight will be enough to finally grant them the peace and happiness they deserve. But we all know how this story ends. Maybe in a different life. I like to think Miranda found him instead, broken but breathing on the remnants of the Citadel, and they didn't have to say goodbye. I will keep that as my headcanon. Their romance is wonderful. I think they're a great, healthy romance. But like with all of them, I wish they had more time together.
Yeah.
Don't get happily ever after.
It is a really good one. I didn't think that I would like the Miranda romance all that much because it's so short. But the content that we get is so good. Now, before we move on to Jacob, let's take a quick mid-break so we can hear from our sponsors, listen to some fun facts, and thank our lovely patrons. Mid-break dance. All right, it is time for me to actually take a break. Holy crap. This happened on Cyberpunk last night too. Like, by the end of the day, my voice was just dying. I don't know what's going on. I know you're my biggest competition. One day I will take you out. Okay. Nothing. I just saw your comment about how women are bred to hate other women. It's instilled in us to find them as competition, and I was like, yes, you're a cat. I will fight you.
That's probably why I didn't like Miranda when I was younger. That's what I said in chat. But like now, I don't do that. I have ascended to women supporting other women and just anybody really. But yeah, I don't I don't do that no more.
Agreed. Okay. Let's get through this before I die. It is time for some fun facts. As we mentioned in Miranda's Mass Effect 2 episode, that she was voiced and modeled after actress Yvonne Strahovski, who has mainly acted in film and television, most notably as Serena Joy in The Handmaid's Tale. She's only acted in one other video game besides the Mass Effect trilogy, and that was a 2010. Yeah, and that was a 2010 PSP game called The Third Birthday, where she plays the English language version of the main player character, Aya.
Can't tell you any more about that because I did not play that game. So I have no idea.
Neither.
Never owned a PSP. And then I found a fact. This was kind of hard to find actually, about our next subject, Jacob. This part wasn't hard to find. His voice actor, it's an actor named Adam Lazar White. You wouldn't know it though if you went to Adam's website. The man doesn't mention Mass Effect anywhere or games in general. He's been a guest star in a ton of TV shows and has done some movies and theater productions as well, but apparently isn't keen on being known as Jacob Taylor. I mean, like, I don't blame him. He definitely captured the everyman sort of personality that Jacob is supposed to have. And it's not his fault that Jacob was written poorly. We'll get into that in a minute, though.
Sorry, I had to look him up and who he is.
Yeah.
Like,
It's there's not that much info on him, but on his website, I scoured his website. Not a single mention of Mass Effect. You could see his on his resume. He's got like a thing where he lists every production he's been in for theater and TV show. He's been at his IMDb is like non-existent. So I don't know. I don't know where they found him. He did a good job as Jacob. I just don't like Jacob. It's not his fault.
Oh, and he's got a sexy ass voice. Like, holy shit, does
Huh?
he?
Mhm.
But yeah, that's very. Oh, his IMDb has Mass Effect on there.
Oh man, I didn't find it. I kept every time I tried to find his IMDb, it just brought up quotes of Jacob with his name attached. I'm like, no, this isn't what I want. But if you go to his actual website for him, it's not on there.
Okay. Sorry, getting off of IMDb. We've got a show to do. And we are in the middle of the show. So we talk reviews and patrons and any major announcements. So earlier this week, I found out that Spotify has released their review system. Okay. So you can't review the show as a whole. You have to review individual episodes. And so what it is that if you're on the Spotify app, and only on the app as of right now, you can't do it from the computer, but iPhone or Android, no matter what you got, it works on it if you have the Spotify app. What you can do is you click on the See More button on an episode description, and then it pops up with a little Q&A. And so for like the most 5 recent episodes, it says, what did you enjoy about this episode? That is just the standard stock question that puts out there. V and I can go in and we can change and customize or add polls or do a whole bunch of new creative things with this. So as time goes on, we'll work with it more. But right now, you can go in and leave us little comments and reviews on individual episodes. So please go on to Spotify, drop us that 5-star rating, and leave a comment on some of our most recent episodes. Now, as of right now, we are at 91 ratings on Spotify. I think it would make things so fabulous if we could bump it up to 100. If you're listening on Spotify right now, just click the little button. Make us happy. Make us happy.
Yes, please.
All right. We also are going to make some changes to our Patreon. Now, it's been a whole year since we started our Patreon, and now it's time to get it kind of updated and where we would like it. Because having a crazy, weird 5-tier thing where people are only in 2 of them is just not making sense anymore. So, we are going to drop it down to 4 tiers. For our $1 tier, it is going to be access to our Discord with a special tag on that, and still vote on the topics that we put up for the Patreon discussions. Now, at the $5 tier, you'll still get that access to the Discord. You'll get to vote on topics. And we are now going to be putting out ad-free versions of the show. So if you can then download the episodes directly from Patreon into a feed, either on Spotify or iTunes or any other type of podcatchers through an RSS feed. You can then download it and listen to ad-free versions of the show. That is at the $5 tier. At the $15 one, same things, Discord, votes, ad-frees, and we will shout out your name in every episode because you're awesome and amazing. At the $25 tier, you will get the access, the voting, the ad-free, the name, and joining our Patreon chat. So the $25 tier is now going to be the one that gets you onto the show. For our patrons who are currently in different tiers, we'll have a little bit of conversation with you to see what's going on and where we can go moving forward from this. We are obviously going to work with you to make sure that you still get the things that you want, because we are getting rid of a tier. And so we will bump other ones around. Okay. Thank you so much. Now, let us thank those lovely, lovely patrons. Apollo and Toasty, Becky and Bat Knight, Cloudy and Win, Mystios and the Cups, and Lizzie. Lizzie, thank you. I was like, didn't I say your name already? No, I said Becky, not Lizzie.
Sorry, I was trying to reassure Bat Night in the chat, but I'll just say it. It's okay. Well, don't worry, Bat Night. Anyway, so Jen, I'm wondering if we should have started with Jacob so we could have ended on a high note, but it's too late now. So are you ready to get disappointed with me?
No. I have a lot of thoughts and feels about this romance, but disappointment isn't one of them. So let's get into it and see what happens after you get the prize.
What are you doing here?
I'm supposed to be protecting these people from the elusive man and his attack dogs.
Are they gone? For now, but they'll be back. You sure you're okay?
Yeah, I'll walk it off. It's good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
I just love it. I'll walk it off. I had to have this clip in here because it's so funny to me. I'm supposed to be protecting these people. You can't do anything right, Jacob. At every turn, this man sucks. Like, okay, it's not his fault. It's not his fault, okay? But if you haven't already, you must go back and listen to our episode on Jacob for Mass Effect 2. You will hear us rip this character to shreds today, but do not mistake that as hate for Jacob the character. On the contrary, Jacob is the character that never was. The sweet, sweet taste of potential turning to ash in our mouths. They did him so dirty, and it only got worse for him in Mass Effect 3, especially if you romanced him.
Yeah. He's the character that could have been so good. Oh, I was like, I've said those words before. River in Cyberpunk, the character that could have been so good. So, basically, apart from a brief appearance on the Citadel later on in the hospital, and then during the Citadel DLC, you only see Jacob during this one mission in Mass Effect 3. Miranda gets like 3. Jacob gets 1. Shepard and crew will head to the Helix. Head to Gelix? I don't think I've ever... What the fuck is that planet name?
Galix? I don't think they say it, but I don't know. I would say Galix. It could be Gelix, though, if you're one of those people.
All right. Shepard and crew will head out to help defend Jacob and a group of ex-Cerberus scientists from Cerberus themselves. Jacob gets wounded and can't finish taking out the Cerberus agents who shot him. We first have to get him somewhere safe. Can't have him bleeding out all over the place and dying on us, right? So Shepard will carry him inside the base and eventually will confront him. She's noticed the weird tension in the room. She's noticed the look shared between Jacob and Dr. Cole. And this is where things turn ugly.
Hey, you okay?
Oh, no, sorry. I heard the crackling. And this is where things turn ugly. How did I sound on that? What? Unmute. I need you. I need feedback.
What happened?
Well, how do I sound? Because I heard the
sound
crackles. Okay.
Oh, you sound fine to me.
Okay. And this is where things turn ugly. I'm about to play a really long clip, but it's basically the only conversation that you get to have. So let's play.
Hey, you okay? Have you been?
Give us a minute. This is crazy. I didn't think I'd ever see you again.
I know the feeling. So how'd you become a gun for hire?
Long story. It was an opportunity I couldn't resist for people I came to care about.
You seem good. You look good.
These are great people. Defending their ideals, I like it. I think I found what I'm meant to do.
You still think about what happened to your dad?
Haunts me more like...
What's the story, Jacob? Why are you working at a place like this?
After we got back, well, things look different when you come back from a suicide mission alive. So I quit Cerberus, I quit everything. And sat by the Mediterranean for a while. That's when I lost track of you.
And what did all the fresh air and meditation teach you?
That what I choose to fight for better mean something to me. That it comes from the heart.
We could sure use you.
It's real tempting, Shepard, but I like where I'm at. I'm important to these people. I want a life. I want a family.
Jacob, I want that too. One day.
Shepard. If it could have been with you. I think we both know. The Normandy's your real love.
How long have you known Bryn?
We met through a mutual friend in the Mumbai cell. Guess I've known her for a year. We had a lot in common. Then she came to me about her missing colleagues. Asked for my protection, my help finding a place to run to. How could I say no?
Who is she to you?
Right.
I get it.
I'm sorry.
You like it here.
If these are our final days, I want to spend them protecting these people. Building a life. Whatever's left of it.
So did you forget me, Jacob? Forget us?
You want to talk about this now?
If one of us dies here today, I want to know that we said all there was to say.
Come on, Shepard. Did you want me to wait forever?
It's not what I wanted you to do. It's what I want you to do. Remember?
Shepard.
It's just you and me here. No one can see us.
I love you, Shepard. Loved you. Damn it.
Come on, Jacob.
I can't. No.
Because you're happy. You found the meaning of life?
Yeah, I'm happy. And it's out there for you too. When you want it.
That's hard to hear. You're a bastard.
Okay? Probably deserve that. I'm sorry.
Wait, I never heard the last half of that.
Yeah. So for everybody who's like, oh, Jacob's a shitty romance because he cheats on you. No, I'm sorry. That Shepard is a fucking twat.
Dude, I know. No, I had never heard that last part. I heard the first part where he's just like, how long was I supposed to wait? And I quit everything. I'm like, well, you didn't quit Shepard. No one told Shepard you guys broke up. But then, oh my gosh, I had never ever heard that. Like, I mean, I could kind of tell from what I heard, but I'm assuming she tried to kiss him. Like, how did she move in that scene? Because I've never seen that one.
So I have that all here. And like, that's why at the beginning of this, when you're like, be disappointed with me. No, honey, I'm not disappointed. I'm angry. I was so unsettled by this.
I'm disappointed in the developers because it's just crazy how bad this is when others are so good, you know? That's what I meant by disappointment. No, there's a lot about I'd never heard this part, but the Citadel scene that I had you add, that makes me angry. So
Yeah.
this whole romance sucks.
Okay. So like, and I don't know if this was the direction that Jennifer Hale was given, because if that was, then what so much what the fuckedness. But she sounds like a sociopathic twat. Like those are the only words that I can accompany. I'm angry.
Like no one's looking. I love how she has the audacity to get mad at him for, in her mind, cheating, which is like, if they were left unsure, it was only 6 months, like between the end of Mass Effect 2 and like when she was with the Alliance facing her war crimes. But like, you know, so it's only 6 months. But in Jacob's defense, it was when she went in there, it was an indefinite detention. So it could have been way longer than 6 months.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, like with QEC and stuff, I don't think there's any good excuse for not being able to communicate with somebody in this day and age.
Right.
So he should have said something. But then, like, to have her think in her mind that he's cheated on her and then try and get him to cheat on Bryn right there when he's injured enough to have to go in the hospital after this. And his freaking baby mama is like 20 feet away. It's disgusting. I mean, I don't think he knows that she's pregnant right now, but we do, like, as players, because we played the whole game.
We know after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so insidious.
I felt
oh my God.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like her. Like, it doesn't feel like Shepard. Like, to be that petty and immature and disgusting, that's not the behavior I would expect.
Yeah, exactly that. And the way that you have to force Jacob into the relationship to begin with in Mass Effect 2, because he was like, no, Shep, I don't really want to do this with you. And then no, Apollo, it is not a renegade prompt to get to those. I mean, they are the down options, but the down options are the flirty options in this case. So the up options are like, they're not flirty. They're not trying to rekindle the relationship.
It's not a renegade interrupt.
Yeah, right.
They're
it's not
just
an
dialogue
interrupt.
choices.
And it's not a red option either. But yeah. Okay, so you asked me what this scene looks like, and let me tell you. In the first part of that, Shepard's standing and Jacob is sitting on a makeshift medical table. He was getting worked on, and that's the woman that he dismisses. Um, but then when it switches to the actual like romance question, she gets on her knees in front of him. And it is so off putting looking up at him, asking for a quickie because nobody is watching. Shep, what in the actual fuck is going on here? It makes me feel icky in ways that I haven't felt in this game before.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like the same game at all. Like, we haven't talked about the travesty that is the Vega, quote, unquote, "romance" in Citadel, but, like, that is the only other thing that is the same level for me. Like, I hadn't even heard this before, and Jacob's Citadel scene was enough for me to be like, "This is just as bad as Vega's, quote, unquote, "romance." Like, I'm not sure who wrote this. I don't know why they did it this way. I don't know if they wanted to have some bad options thrown in there because the other romances are done so well, and there are flaws in them, but not like this, not like red flag behavior. I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's the same person or team who wrote these or if there was a reason, unless we get some BioWare developers on who know. Well, we
Right.
may never know. I don't know why they went this direction. I don't like it at all. And what's interesting is, um, like, I definitely don't like Jacob's character because of the writing. It's like I said, it's nothing against Jacob. He has so much potential. But I've never thought of it this way where I'm like, Shepard's worse, you know? Everyone hates Jacob, but I've never heard anyone talk about this scene before. Like I didn't know it existed.
It's bad. There's no other way to put it. And I don't blame Jacob. Now, the next time that you see Jacob after this, he is in Huerta Memorial Hospital, recovering from walking it off. It turns out that Bryn is pregnant, and all of a sudden his purpose is laid out before him. He realizes that he has a chance here to be a parent in the way that his father never was to him. Bryn even wants to name the baby Shepherd. But Jacob realizes how cringy that is, so he assures Shepard that this will never happen. I also don't like naming the baby Hackett either. Like, that one doesn't work out. Don't
Was
name your
that the
baby
other
girl
choice?
Hackett. Yeah.
He named his daughter Hackett.
No.
Hackett Taylor.
I mean, for like a little boy, maybe. But I don't know. But no, they never solidified a baby name, as far as I know.
Oh, okay.
And so, you know what, Jacob? Go on. Have your life. I'll be happy for you.
Gosh, yeah. At this point, get away from Shepard. Shepard is the toxic ex that you have nightmares about after breaking up. Jeez. And then we come to the grossest possible moment. You know, I wrote this before I heard the last clip, so equally gross. Actually, no, it is worse. No, I don't know what's worse. They're so bad. They're both so bad. So we come to another horrible moment in this particular relationship. There's only one other romance scene that tops how bad this one is for me. Vega. And it's one that we'll be talking about soon in an upcoming episode. Just like with the other companions, we get a moment with Jacob on the Silver Sun Strip during the Citadel DLC. You can play an arcade game, and it's just like an aw, cute moment. But the conversation takes quite a turn if you romanced him in Mass Effect 2. This is like renegade version of the dialogue choices. It's not really renegade, but it's like the angry dialogue choices because they're not red. But anyway, we just need to unpack this because this is horrible. This is like the worst way this conversation could go.
Yep. It's bad.
Hey, Shepard, over here. Thanks for coming by. Good to see you. What's up?
What's up? Good to see you. Like nothing ever happened. Forgive and forget. Is it that simple for you?
What's wrong? But I thought... Shepard, seriously. I thought we were good. What the hell? I probably deserve that.
Yeah. I think maybe you've had it coming.
Shepard. I see that I hurt you, but you gotta believe me. I never wanted that.
How could you think that I wouldn't be hurt?
Maybe I'm more like my old man than I thought. With everything that was going down, I guess I lost my mind a little. Anyway, now I just have to do right by Bryn and the baby. And by you if I can. It is what it is. And I'm sorry.
Maybe we can move past this, but I can't make any promises.
That's fair. I'll let you slap me again if it'll help. Just try not to break my jaw this time.
Guess I just needed to get that out of my system.
Yeah. So then, maybe we'll see you around.
Yeah. Take care, Jacob.
He'll take care now that he's away from you. Okay. Well, just first of all, I'm going to let Jen discuss the main issue that we both have with this scene, because I just want to say this little bit first to get out of the way. The way that they say goodbye in this scene is the only good part of it for me. It's a very convincing goodbye. It feels very real, the kind that hints at this being the last time they expect to ever see each other, despite saying otherwise. It's very final, defeated, and just like the two of them are cutting their losses. The rest of this scene, though, it just like what we said about the other one, it feels completely out of character for Shepard, and is just a gross example of domestic violence passed off as just some jilted woman ex-lover. It's fine because she's a woman, she can hit him. No.
Big, giant, fat fucking no. It is never okay to hit someone out of anger. You had that pent up and it made you feel better to hit him in the face. Shepard, you are a super soldier. You are literally biotically powered. You have cybernetics enhancing your speed and your strength. And that comment about breaking the jaw, I probably believe it. It's why I also get pissed off every time somebody thinks, oh, punching the reporter's funny. No, it is not. Punching the reporter for doing a job is not okay. And neither is hitting Jacob. Okay? The fact that he takes the slap to the face and his immediate reaction is, I probably deserved that. That is a line from somebody who has been abused before. That is somebody who knows that disappointment or anger or even just bad feelings in general mean that I'm going to get hit. Whether that was from his father, whether that was from a previous lover, whether that was from somebody in his life that he was supposed to be able to trust and respect, they hit him. And they hit him often enough for him to expect violence. It's not okay. Shepard's response of, you had it coming, fuck off. Not okay. It is never okay to expect that violence is going to be accepted. When he says, I'll let you slap me again, it's defeat. He knows that he is just relegated to a punching bag. That's all he'll ever amount to. Jacob Taylor, I wish you the best of life with Bryn. And I hope that you are able to raise baby Hackett Taylor or whatever you decide to name her. You didn't deserve Shepard. You deserved way better.
Yeah. And it's super gross that the person that he loved, supposed to love him, and that you play as is the abuser in this situation. And like going back to Mass Effect 2, she is not to the extent, at least in the beginning, it's not to the same extent of the coercion that she does to Vega during the Citadel party. But that Shepard is the same Shepard who pushes Jacob into a romance also. Like, for both of these men, she is their superior officer. She is their commanding officer. I know that in Mass Effect 2, Jacob's in Cerberus and she's Alliance, right? No, not at the time. When you're serving on the ship, she's the captain of the ship. That's how it works. And Vega 1000% is her subordinate with no blurry lines there at all. So it's just disgusting behavior. It's the kind of behavior that happens all the time in the military as it is. It's not often done by a woman towards a man, but that does exist. So I don't know what they were trying to do with this. Like if they were trying to highlight that sort of thing, like anyone could be a victim or what. Like I'm not really sure why they thought this was something and to put into the story. Like I guess we couldn't have 100% good romances, but I didn't expect it to get this bad either.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This is don't do this romance. There's so many better ones. And then, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Chat is talking about how that comment could be seen as, trying to diffuse it with humor. And I agree.
I guess.
He was trying to diffuse the situation with humor because he's been in it before.
Yeah, self-deprecating humor.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think his confidence is that low? Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I hope Bryn is a breath of fresh air and has never raised a hand towards him in any way other than gentle affection.
Yeah. Or maybe a nice smack on his butt.
Yeah,
because he's got a nice ass.
This is why, when I was learning Korean for the Navy, there was one thing my teachers always said, and I think said it on the podcast before. They were saying, context matters.
Mm-hmm.
And that is true when it comes to this as well. There is certainly a time in a relationship where a slap could be very welcome indeed. This is not one of those cases. Not necessarily slap to the face either.
Oh, because they're
a slap on any part of your body.
Exactly. And obviously consent is key, and Jacob did not consent to being hit in the face.
He sure didn't. That was an attack. It was not sexual. But moving past this, obviously you know our thoughts on this. It was complete garbage. But during the party on the Citadel DLC, Jacob is kind of being a tool, having a push-up contest with Vega, which is hilarious. And the next morning, when everyone else is hungover, except for Samara, who's weird and meditating, Jacob is doing a ridiculous amount of sit-ups. It's just like, take a break. Take a break, bro. But anyway, this romance is stupid. And I know we've said a lot of things, but I don't want to rip apart the developers because I know that they work so hard, and I know making a game is ridiculously difficult, but the way they handled Jacob is just inexcusably bad. They relied so heavily on many negative tropes about Black men to craft his character and continued more of the same in his romance. This is the only romance that ends like this throughout the whole trilogy. And because of that, Jacob just sucks, like as a character and especially as a romance. It's very disappointing.
Yeah. I would say that I would romance Jacob in 2 if there was a quick, clean, easy way to break in 3. And then where I could just romance somebody else. You know? If I didn't have sociopathic Shepherd that honestly looks like honestly, the scene looks like Shepherd wants to suck his dick right there in the med bay. With the whole body language, everything like that, her being on her knees, it's so wrong. But yeah, I don't know. We started this one with I knew I was gonna have a lot of thoughts and feels on it. And normally by the end of a Mass Effect 3 episode, I'm over here crying. Right now, I want to go shoot some shit. Like I want to get myself into.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I think this was the first time that I just started freezing up.
Oh, you're good now.
Okay, we're good.
This is not me.
Right? My whole setup just went blank for a minute, but I'm back. My anger, my computer can feel my anger, and it was like shutting everything down before you explode. I'll probably go kill some pedestrians in Cyberpunk.
Yeah, it's just bad. It's all around bad. I don't claim this Shepherd at all. Like, don't recognize her. She can just piss off for all I care. That is not how my Shepherd would behave.
Mm-mm.
It's disgusting. I don't like it. And honestly, if anyone sees like you really should take a look at yourself and maybe reevaluate if for any reason you found any kind of humor in that scene or that's something you could relate to, that kind of behavior. You really should take a look at that because you shouldn't relate to that. Okay.
Yeah. I fully agree with that. And I hope that whenever you see somebody doing this, because I know that a lot of people who listen to our show like to watch Twitch streams, and a lot of people in the Discords will talk about, Jacob's a fucking douchebag. I'll post this clip in our Discord, and so that way people can download just the specific I'll even cut it down so that way it's not a whole 2-minute clip and everything like that. I will post just the dialogue of the Shepherd romance portion of that. So that way you can be like, no, Jacob is not the bad guy. This is so that way you can put that out there. I would like to see more defense of Jacob Taylor because the amount of Twitch streams that I have watched where every single time Jacob comes on screen is like, throw him out the airlock. He's such a fucking asshole. And it's just like, no. Stop. Stop. I think that I have ranted enough about all of this. I will also make sure to put some domestic violence links in the show notes. Because if you are somebody who has ever been hit, or is currently being hit, or needs or knows someone who is going through something like this, there is help out there. There are resources. There are people you can talk to. And we'll make
it's
sure.
not just being hit either.
Oh yeah,
There's a lot of
verbal.
examples of different kinds of abuse in these romance scenes alone.
Yeah.
Verbal, emotional, sexual, physical, financial. Those are the big ones.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, my love. Now, if you like what you're hearing, please be sure to leave a rating and a review on iTunes or on that new Spotify feature. I can't wait to start reading more and more of your lovely words. And subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. You can now find me on the Cyberpunk Lorecast with my co-host Hosty, where we explore the foundations of the past, the state of Night City today, and the news of the future for all things cyberpunk. And of course, in our Two Girls One Ship channel on the Robots Radio Discord. And come give us a follow on all the social medias and on patreon.com/2girls1ship. Links to those are in the description.
You can find me on the Robots Radio Discord as well, and on our own Two Girls One Ship Discord server where we nerd out on all our favorite CGI significant others and some of our not favorite ones. Be sure to check our live streams on Twitch on Fridays at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Our podcast episodes release on Mondays because you need at least one good thing on a Monday.
So thanks for listening. And remember,
beauty is in the eye of the controller. Do you remember how I told you that there was like one paragraph last week that didn't record at the normal volume and I didn't know why? I just looked at my Audacity and it was like recording level 27%.
oh my gosh. So that happens to me too. Like it just happened right now. Recording level is
Yeah.
set at 7%, but during the whole show it's been set at like I had it up at like
I was at like
70%.
60.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think because I click back and forth on my laptop, so I'm like, maybe I hit it at one point, but I don't know why. I don't remember doing that. I don't normally hit up. Now it's at 44%.
I know.
I just set it to 50.
No,
What's
so
happening?
it auto corrects. It
Oh.
auto corrects. Like I don't know how to change that. I need to change.
I'm gonna
I need to
Google
figure
it.
out.
I didn't know it did that. Is that a new feature? Because it never used to do that to me.
Yeah, it fucked Toasty too. He's like, "What is going on?"
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't feel crazy now. I was like, is my mic breaking? Like, how did that happen? One paragraph into the whole show was like, I could barely see the waveform on my recording because it was so low.
Yeah.
And even with amplification, it was bad. So couldn't use that. But luckily, I had switched to Chrome by that point last week. So the Google Meets audio sounded good. So
Yeah.
it was okay. Yay.
Man, this one was definitely interesting. Like I knew that Jacob was gonna be one of those interessante episodes, but I got a little bit angrier than I expected. There was something about hearing those lines again because I recorded it, but it's like hearing it again and seeing your reaction to it, I think is what made it even worse.
Jump scared me with that. I never heard that before. I'm like, what is this? Is alternate universe that's happening right now? What is? I hear Jennifer Hale, but that doesn't sound anything like any Shepherd I know.
Oh, I wonder because peek behind the curtain to how this podcast actually works. When you said like record this portion here and then stop it and then clip it start here because there's like portions where Jacob talks about like the elusive man and all that shit.
Yeah,
and so we cut
some
that.
shit that we didn't need.
So I just paused the recording and kept going on the video. Is the video that you linked on the second one a different video? So that way it was a different recording? It was different selections?
So what I do is I open up the transcript when I'm picking clips. So I don't always hear the whole clip that I'm picking. I'll just see the text and I'm like, oh, I'll stop it right here. So I think I stopped it before. So I was trying to limit. It was a really long conversation. So I think I just didn't actually hear that part. And the transcript is auto done by the AI. So like it's not always good. So I think I just like skimmed over that and was looking for keywords. That's not what I normally do. So I think I just didn't hear it. And like I didn't think you were going to continue it that long. So, which I'm glad you did because I had no idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
I had never heard that before. It was so gross. I can't believe that's in there. See, even all these years later, still I mean, I could have lived without knowing this, but Like, I'm still finding out new things.
Right. But I mean, I think it brings such a bigger, like, more to it, you know? We talked about this, like, with Miranda. It was like, she's the fucking Barbie. She's the eye candy. She's only there for Fap Nation. Well, you know what? No,
Mhm.
there's a lot more to it. And then
Yeah.
with Jacob, it's like, oh, well, he's the new Caden. You know, he's Mr.
Yeah.
fucking Milquetoast, and then he ends up cheating on you. Like, I don't really think
There's
that,
more there, but I hate it.
yeah,
A
and
can of worms I didn't wanna open.
really, I don't really think that he cheated on you. He knew Bryn before he met you, Shepard.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, because he did mention Mumbai, and I wasn't sure if that happened in the 6 months or if he was in the Mediterranean all 6 months or what. When I first heard it, I just assumed he went Mediterranean and then Mumbai and, like, met her,
No,
but
he knew Bryn from the Mumbai Cerberus cell, which is alluding
yeah.
to the fact that he knew, but he's known her for over a year.
Mm,
Shepard's only been like the events of Mass Effect 3 only take about, like, I think it's calculated at like between 7 and 9 months. So
pretty
he knew
impressive.
Bryn before he knew Shepard.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry, Mass Effect
that
2 only takes Mass
yeah.
Effect 2 only takes like 3.5, 4 months.
Mhm. Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, honestly, when he met her. Like, I guess the one lesson he could learn is make sure you fully end something. Like, make sure you have good communication. I mean, I know he had some extenuating circumstances. I still stand by my statement that the QEC exists. He could have gotten word to Shepard or something. But at the same time,
I
she
don't
should have
know.
respected his boundaries once he said, like, "Yeah, sorry, I'm with someone else now. Did you dirty. Sorry." She shouldn't have then been like, do you really love her? Are you sure?" Like, ugh. Ugh, that was the worst.
Have we Why do we excuse Miranda and basically any of our other Mass Effect 2 lovers that continue on into 3? Why do we excuse them?
Excuse them of what?
Like, for not moving on. Like, nobody else really
Oh,
contacted Shepard while she was stuck
no. I've
because they
always thought
couldn't.
that was the weirdest thing, actually. Like, Jacob makes it sound like he said it, he quits everything and he lost track of Shepard, um, which is a weird thing to say because it seems pretty well known that Shepard, like, turns themselves in,
Mm-hmm.
like, about the Batarian thing to go to the Alliance, so it seems like something he should be able to find out really easily, that if maybe not being able to contact her, he could at least know where she's at, um, which at that point, he should be able to contact her in some way, but anyway, like, because it's not like Shepard was really in the brig, like, she's a VIP prisoner, um,
But even
but
Caden or
everyone
Ashley,
else
who is there, couldn't be in
yeah.
contact with them.
Yeah, they didn't know that Shepard was there until they, like, see them walking out to go to their hearing. They're like, "Oh my god, Shepard, hey." My thing is what always is weird to me is how, like, everyone else, they kinda just, like, scatter to the four corners, and it's only been 6 months, but they act like it's been so much longer. Like, for instance, when you reconnect with Garrus for the romance, and he's just like, "I don't know where we stand." I always thought that was so weird. It's like, why? Why do you guys not know where you stand? Like, you didn't break up, and Shepard, like, went and did something, so if you guys never had a conversation about waiting for me or whatever, like, that just seems weird to do to the people who are supposed to be your lover slash, like, best friends, the rest of them, you know? Some of them have been with Shepard for years at this point.
And
It
that's
just
what really bothers me about the timeline of Mass Effect. Like, that to me, it just doesn't
Mhm.
make sense because Mass Effect 2 takes place in the course of like 3.5, 4 months. We get to these epic level love affairs with these people in 3 months. That just doesn't seem right to me. And we
Yuri
do know.
says that we know that Thane tried to
Mhm.
contact you because he says, I remember him saying that because I did romance him once in one of my playthroughs all the way through.
And
Oh, you have to do it once.
the videos get intercepted by the Alliance. Like he makes a whole bunch of videos and sends them to you. Like, I went to Arizona with Kolyat to see what your planet was like. And I was like, oh my God.
I love Thane.
I know.
Oh.
So good. But
Although
Shepard
Apollo
never
says
got
maybe it's just
those.
Bioware giving us an out in case we want to do a different romance. Which maybe. It just seems weird. Like it's such a clunky way to do that for people who write so well. It just seems like if that is why they did that, there's a way better way to do that. You know, you could have just been like, oh, it's been 6 months. My feelings have changed. Now that we're not constantly together, about to die all the time, I realized I don't actually love you. You know, like you could have done something different.
Yeah, and
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
technically, all of our romances have been more time apart than they have been together.
Oh, definitely.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you're right. You're right, Bat Knight. That does need to be addressed about the fact that Jack punches Shepard in the face.
Oh yeah.
But
We will.
I know.
We'll get to that because isn't Jack like next time? Sorry. Well, we still have to do Jack. Oops.
My girl better be on there.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm trying to find. Here we go. There's.
And see, and
It got
I'm
updated.
agreeing with you guys. Like Jack punching
Yep.
Shepard.
Next one. Thane, Samara, Jack. That's next episode after Patreon and the interview episode that I know
Okay.
you're very excited about, which when we stop the live, I don't know if you want to record the intro now or we can save it for next week before patrons start.
Yeah, I mean it's already
But
9 o'clock at night my time, and
that's
I
fair.
still need to go cook
Too.
dinner.
Ew. Yeah, I need to go to bed because I am coming down with something, and I know my kid's gonna crawl into bed with me at like 5 a.m. and that's when I will cease to get a good night's sleep because she takes up the whole bed.
Right. It felt on brand for Jack. It felt accepted. And Shepard, and it was like a smack. I don't know. Anyways, I will figure out my emotions regarding Jack hitting Shepard when we get there.
I stand by my you should never hit your partner, but I will accept that it does feel like something Jack would do because Jack is not a balanced, mentally healthy person. She's doing a lot better in Mass Effect 3, but like, look at her childhood and stuff. This is not excusing her behavior, but I can 1000% see that being a viable, logical choice to Jack to hit Shepard. Does not feel like that to Shepard to hit Jacob at all, like completely out of character.
Right.
So
And
yes,
it's not like Jack is going there with like a full-on biotic punch to your face.
No. Yeah, I think Shepard hit Jacob way harder. Just thinking back to the scenes, like it seems like Jacob like almost got knocked over. It was bad. But either it doesn't even matter though. Like you should never hit anybody that you are supposed to love, or just in general. Just don't start fights unless you are sure that you can finish them.
Yep.
Which is not me. That's why I don't want to start fights.
All right. Thank you so much, chat, for being here tonight. You guys have been amazing, big time chatters, and a couple of first time chatters. And I did see a new father. A new father. I still have Jacob on my mind. a new follower. Acoos51. Thank you so much. And Tillian, I did see that you created a new name and now you're going by something else on Twitch. Raina Wayward, thank you so much. I believe you were a first time chatter as well. And of course, our ride or dies are here every episode. Apollo, Yuri, Bat Knight, Super Major Love, very much appreciate. Two girls, one ship making new fathers. Oh, honey,
I love
I'll be your daddy.
cats. I don't want to be anyone's daddy. I'm tired. I'm too
I'll be
poor for
somebody's
that.
daddy. Oh, I'm not
Ready
going to
to
be your
fight.
sugar daddy. No. No. I'll just dole out spankings. And on that,
That's a pat
bye.